Sneak says Rise of Ronin was a damn good time as well. I'm right there with you. If you remember that review conversation when we were all just a few hours into it, whatever, I had a great time with Ronin because it was an Assassin's Creed style samurai playground where I'm running, I'm jumping off, throwing my thing, come down, I'm assassinating people. But it was, I'm clearing the map and I'm getting more powerful, and I don't know what the story isn't. They're not trying to make a samurai movie.
With Rise of the Ronin, I was the one who like shit talked it the most because about 3 hours in, I said on kind of like that preview or whatever it was, whether it was review or not, you know, it's lacking sauce.
Yeah.
With Rise of the Ronin, if I were to put like letter grades on shit, their combat is A tier. That's Koei Tecmo.
Yeah.
That is it. That combat is phenomenal, right? It's what you expect with Neo, with what I enjoyed about Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which is a game that at the time we had our rating system was different. So I gave it a 3 out of 5, and we all did because we were like, yeah, the combat rocks. It's just not much else is good in this when it comes to voice acting or cutscenes or cinematics or story. But like for me, Rise of the Ronin and Ghost of Tsushima, I'm looking at like fucking S tier combat for Rise of the Ronin and A tier for Ghost of Tsushima. Now everything else in Ghost of Tsushima is A as well for me, and Rise of the Ronin drops down to like the D's and the B's when it comes to story and characterization and compelling interactions, making me give a damn about what's happening in the world. And I just think back to my time with when I first tried out Ghost of Tsushima 1 and was like, this isn't hitting right now. Decided to go back to it a year later and completely fell in love with the experience. And a lot of it has to do with these characters that I grew to love. That game has some of the most fucking gut-wrenching, heartbreaking side quests that really, really hit you in the feels. And a lot of that has to do with how gripping the dialogue is and these characters that you grow to care about.
Sakai, man, come on.
These awesome twists and turns and backstabbings of character. Like, goddamn, dude. It was just, it overtook The Last of Us Part 2 for GOTY of the for that year for me. And, you know, for anybody who says the combat gets repetitive, it's my flavor of combat. So it never became competitive or repetitive for me because I sought out every other battle because I was having that much fun with it.
And that's one of the things for me to take the baton from you for a second is the idea that I'm not the combat guy. I'm not the parry poppy guy. And I mean, I like combat, but I don't like the challenge or this or whatever. I thought the combat was so good in Tsushima that I also was seeking out challenge. And I was also seeking out these people. And was it repetitive? I don't think so, because for me, it was always about getting better and finding the parry window and doing the thing. And like, what is the mechanic I'm going to use here to fight this? And then, you know, those one-on-one samurai duels you'd have and stuff. Like, I thought it was so incredibly special on that front.
Yeah, it brought the fun gameplay mixed in with a lot of other amazing, you know, what brings the sauce. Those cinematic moments, the moment where, you know, you get backstabbed by one of the homies, and then it's the duel with the wide shot and the down, like cinematography and everything just adds so much to help supplement how fun the combat can be. And so when Ghost 2 gets revealed that one time, obviously super pumped for it, want to see what the next adventure is. And after watching that, it's like, God damn, dude, this year is so fucking stacked.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. If you didn't watch it or you want more, we're going to read from the one, the only, Andrew Goldfarb at the PlayStation blog, who wrote this 2-paragraph synopsis of what's going on there. 16 years ago in the heart of Izu, called Hokkaido in present day, a gang of outlaws known as the Yotei 6 took everything from Atsu. They killed her family and left her for dead, pinned to a burning... ginkgo tree outside her home. But Atsu survived. She learned to fight, to kill, and to hunt. And after years away, she has returned to her home with a list of 6 names: the snake, the oni, the kitsune, the spider, the dragon, and Lord Sato. One by one, she's hunting them down to avenge her family.
You mix it up right there.
What I do?
Yotei is EI. AI is Sai. So it's Saito.
Saito. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I like that. One by one, she's hunting them down to avenge her family, armed with the same katana used to pin her to that burning tree all those years ago.
That's so cool.
So
man.
fucking cool.
That reminds me of when we first saw the glimpses of Robert Pattinson's Batman, and we were like, "Oh, that's a pistol, I'd probably kill it." It wasn't, but it's still cool.
It could be. They just never talked about it.
Still maybe.
But while Atsu's story begins with vengeance, she'll find there's more to her journey than just revenge. As she explores Izo, Atsu will meet unlikely allies and forge connections that help give her a new sense of purpose. Over in the super chat, so many of you want to be part of the show. I appreciate that. Please come on with that. But Norman writes in and says, the story looks heavily inspired by 70s samurai movie Lady Snowblood, and that rules. In the same way I beat Ghost of Tsushima or was playing it and got obsessed and started buying, I hit up Sucker Punch people and I was like, what are inspirations? And I started getting like comics and mangas and stuff. I would definitely want to watch Lady Snowblood right now because that sounds fucking rad too. Where do you want to go from here, Andy? Because I want to talk about the release date. I want to talk about the competition this year. I want to talk about what we saw. I want to talk about hopes and dreams. What do you want to jump into?
I think because I was really stoked for whatever the concept and presentation was for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and obviously this extremely similar coincidental thing of you go after the 6 people, that we go after the 8 people, whatever it may be. And there's just something that I love that's so easy to latch onto as somebody who enjoys media like this. It's such an easily consumable thing. These 6 dudes, it reminds me of all the Metal Gear games, going after the Beauty and the Beast, going after freaking
the end. Or are you talking about
like I'm just talking about like the groups of the bosses,
Foxhound and
Foxhound, all that. It's such a cool, easy, marketable way to have these characters with the the kitsune, the little fox mask and all that stuff. I just love the idea of it. This concept is just so. It's such an easy win for me to hop in there and go, all right, this is what we're doing. I'm in already. What I would love to see from it, however, because there are some aspects of Ghost of Tsushima that I think of like, what can we improve here? What can we implement? And I think we all go, either raid WB and take the fucking
Nemesis system.
Take the Nemesis system, because that's just like, can you even imagine how something like that would be implemented here? Are there any ways for Sucker Punch to kind of skirt those little IP law lines and maybe kind of implement anything like that? Because as much as I love this living, breathing world that feels so it feels so immersive and so alive, I still feel like I got quickly tired of those emergent gameplay moments when homie is by his cart and is like, help me out, and then he's really just there to try to kill you or whatever. How can we improve on those open world moments that kind of make you feel like I'm experiencing this and maybe nobody else has, because this feels so singular?
Andy, hear me out. They make their own proprietary Nemesis system, and then to skirt the line, they'll call it the meanie apparatus.
Oh, okay. I love it. I love it.
This episode's brought to you by Imperial. We've told you all how important it is to developers to wishlist games you're interested in on Steam. So if this game sounds cool to you, make sure that you wishlist it. In Imperial, you play as a mercenary sent to a distant planet to discover the mysteries of an ancient civilization. Powers unknown lie within the monolith, but those are no mere ruins, as an expedition has already ventured inside with only a few survivors. Why was it built? What powers reside within? Who is at the center of the monolith? All these secrets and more will be uncovered if you are brave enough to take on Imperial. Imperial features a unique blend of RPG systems and skill-based combat across 3 weapon archetypes: the acrobatic glaive, the defensive but devastating mace and shield, and the powerfully ranged cannon. With a deep ability system and extensive customization, every battle is an opportunity to refine and optimize your combat style. Form relationships with each of the few surviving expedition members who all have their own personal quest lines. Whether you choose to help or not can have drastic consequences for them. The monolith is guarded by powerful automatons, each with distinct attack patterns and weaknesses that demand precise execution and strategy to be victorious. Create your mercenary, enter the monolith, learn powerful abilities, defeat the automatons, and uncover the secrets that lie within Imperial. Imperial is available May 8th on PC, Xbox S and X, and PS5, but you can wishlist now. Do it! Wishlist Imperial. This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. If you haven't called your mom in a while, here is your reminder to do it. But then if you want to go above and beyond, Mother's Day is coming up and I have the perfect gift idea. Aura Frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. It's a gift so special, they'll use it every day. Trust me, Gia's dad does, Greg and Kevin, and a ton of people here at Kinda Funny are obsessed with their Aura frames. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app, and I know that from experience. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code Kinda Funny. Support this show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, top of my list in terms of things I would want to see strengthened, because I think Ghost is so great, Ghost of Tsushima. But it would be the idea, somebody who platinumed it and loved chasing all of that, side quests, right? Making those less repetitive, because it was, okay, cool. It's fun to go to the bath. It's fun to write the haiku. It's fun to follow the fox. But like your fifth time, or and maybe that's not even the right number, but it was, as you got deeper and deeper into it, that's where it started to wear me down. There's hope for that already, though. Of course, over at WCCF Tech, this is a September 2024 article. Alessio says, Ghost of Yotei will feature a less repetitive open world. Yotei, I fucked it up again. Thankfully, developer Sucker Punch shared a few tidbits about this sequel in an interview published in the New York Times. Creative director Jason Connell said one of the changes compared to Ghost of Tsushima will be a less repetitive open world. Quote, one challenge that comes with making an open world game is the repetitive nature of doing the same thing over and over again. We wanted to balance against that and find unique experiences. So I like the idea that, again, Sucker Punch, which in the grand scheme of studios is a small studio in terms of PlayStation first parties, has enough time to sit there and really go, okay, it's been 5 years, which both sounds so short, but also so long since Ghost of Tsushima. The fact they've noodled it and come up with this in this story and whatever they're about to do with this world is exciting. When you see that there, see her go to be the little girl there.
That's such a deliberate choice, and I wonder.
We saw that with Jin, obviously, where we would have flashbacks to it. But do you think, is there a chance that's a game mechanic? Because the way they did it right there, I know they're like doing the water droplets. I just think it's an interesting thing to call out there. At the end here is like your stinger. Of going into it. I wonder if that's actually going to be a mechanic or if that's just we're getting the flashback as always.
You're 100% dead on there. As I feel it's such a deliberate choice to have that be the stinger, because at any moment a game can show a flashback. That's not going to blow anybody away. But if you're showing it off in that way to where it looks like a mechanic, and it very well may not be, but that feels like such a choice to have that there.
In the chat, Caboose is saying it's a game mechanic. They confirmed it on the PlayStation blog. Which blog post did they confirm that on? Let me know, because I don't even know what to Google. Change perspective.
Now, when you switch worlds,
of course, the Sucker Punch is still watching, and they want to just text me if that's
does that one tree that was burned down, has it grown back now? Like how? I mean, we're not talking like the medium, right? Like dual world type things, how deep can that even go? Because you mentioning that them being well aware about how their open world can become repetitive and how that can be a little point of, all right, we got to improve this in the future. It's just kind of, that's a lesson learned. They know that. They are aware of it. Great. That's something they want to address.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay. Well, first off, I asked that. The chat said it was in the most recent post. Another fucking person from Sucker Punch, who will remain nameless, says it's in the blog you were literally just reading, for fuck's sake. Like, calm down! It's a fucking live show, Jesus!
You were reading it, Greg.
But I didn't read that part because, again, then Goldfarb starts doing this. We hope you enjoy this brief. Fuck off! I'm gone. I'm no longer listening.
Dude.
The comment, if you're an audio listener, does though go. I'll just read the whole thing. We hope the brief looks in today's trailer give you a taste for what you can expect from Ghost of Yotei. Beyond our first look at the Yotei 6, you'll spot some of the gorgeous scenery of Izo, as well as a handful of Atsu's new weapons, a few of her allies, and even a new gameplay mechanic that will allow you to glimpse Atsu's past and understand everything that was taken from her.
I would imagine it's Atsu.
Okay. I mean, I don't know, but obviously I'm saying it one way because I don't know.
No.
So you're saying I'm saying
Atsu.
at. You're saying
Yeah.
Atsu.
Atsu.
Mm-hmm.
What was I saying at? Atsu.
I also think it might be Ezo. I don't know, because I think of the Edo period.
Yeah, that makes sense
Which
too.
is
Yeah, that one I'm less sure about.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're probably on the
Ezo.
money there.
Yeah,
Ezo reminds me of Element Zero Mass Effect.
Ooh.
So did you read about the mechanic? Or
yeah, I did there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like a
'Cause-
glimpse. Atsu. Did I say it right there? Atsu.
Yeah, you nailed it. You crushed
Atsu's
it.
past and understand.
So, I mean, how often are we even given the opportunity to do that? Is it?
Yeah, I know, right? Is it? Yeah, this. I know I'm calling out a game that's better than Resident Evil, but the medium. Like, you know, when we saw that in trailers and stuff, we were like, oh, cool, you're back and forth, but it was very specific spots. So, yeah, is this just going to be specific spots?
I don't think we needed that at the front end.
Everybody needs to know.
Look, everybody,
needs to know.
I know what I'm doing here. I'm calling out a game that's better than Resident Evil.
Better than Resident Evil Village, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Just putting it out there.
Yeah, you wonder if that is a momentary thing or if just after certain chapter points you have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Either way, it'd be cool.
But then,
It's not like a revolutionary gameplay mechanic, yeah, but
yeah.
because I think when I think of Ghost of Tsushima and Jin's story, I do think about hopping back and forth quite a bit.
But that was never a voluntary thing, you know? Like
Yeah.
they were shoving you in the past to.
I hate being shoved in the past.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I wonder how often that's something that can even be utilized if you're even, if you're even calling it out, not only as the singer, but then you're saying, hey, you've also probably noticed this thing. It seems like it's going to be maybe a lot more prevalent than maybe even we think.
I doubt it's like open world activities.
Oh, definitely
like, let's
not.
go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
an
I don't
enemy
expect
camp
that.
and then turn back into.
Look, there was a rock here before.
Yeah.
They've really done a lot with the place. You know what I mean?
She turned into a little girl.
She's still fighting this little girl. It's time
I
traveling.
can't
woman.
kill the girl.
I want to get into more super chats. I want to talk more about what we think this October did. I want to talk about all sorts of stuff ghost related. But first, I'll remind you that this is Kinda Funny Gamescast. We couldn't do this without your support. Thank you for all the super chats. Continue to come in with what you want from this game, what you didn't like about Ghost of Tsushima, and what you want out of this one. Of course, though, what you'd really do if you wanted to help us was go pick up a Kinda Funny membership. We're an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. You can go to patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple or Spotify. You can kick us $10, get all of our shows ad-free, get your daily dose of me in a series we call Greg Way, and feel good for supporting some idiots you like on the internet. However, you're not supporting us right now, so here's a word from our sponsors.